Although British colonial rule is now widely criticized for its economic exploitation, the famines exacerbated by certain imperial policies, and its suppression of Indian national aspirations, it also witnessed the establishment of the country's first major archaeological institutions. During this period, archaeological museums, including the Indian Museum, as well as several organizations devoted to the scientific study of India's cultural heritage, were founded in Kolkata and elsewhere. Today known as Calcutta, the city was called Calcutta for more than 2 centuries. This anglicized form of an older Bengali name remained official until 2001, when the metropolis officially returned to its traditional pronunciation. Yet it was under the name Calcutta that the city entered history. For more than a century, it served as the capital of British India and the administrative heart of the Raj. Governors, merchants, military officers, and civil servants helped shape a city whose influence extended far beyond Bengal. By the beginning of the 20th century, Calcutta ranked among the great cities of the British Empire, alongside London, Bombay, and Hong Kong. Although political power was transferred to Delhi in 1911, the legacy of that era remains deeply embedded in the urban landscape. Palaces, museums, cultural institutions, and memorials still bear witness to the exceptional role the city played in the history of modern India. Among the institutions established during this period was the Indian Museum of Calcutta, founded in 1814. It is the oldest museum in India and one of the oldest museum institutions in Asia. Its collections have played a major role in the study, preservation, and promotion of the heritage of the Indian subcontinent. Even today, the museum remains an essential reference for the archaeology and history of India. The Lion of Ashoka echoes the form of the capitals that crowned the columns erected by Emperor Ashoka in the 3rd century BCE, during the Maurya period. The lions, facing the directions of the world, express sovereign authority and the spread of Dharma. Below, the bull, the wheel, and the elephant extend this symbolic language, combining strength, moral law, and Buddhist memory. At the base, the lotus evokes purity and spiritual emergence. Other sculptures continue this ancient Hindu universe. More modest in size, they are no less rich in symbolism. Garuda, Varaha, Ganesha, and other divine figures give shape to India's great mythological narratives. Between human bodies, sacred animals, and hybrid beings, stone becomes a language of protection, power, and cosmic order. The representations of the Buddha preserved in the Indian Museum illustrate several major themes of Buddhist iconography. The Buddha is shown seated in meditation, in gestures of teaching or protection, and also reclining, evoking the end of his earthly life and his entry into nirvana. The reliefs often associate the central figure with disciples, guardians, stupas, sacred trees, or symbolic animals. These elements express key themes of early Buddhism: renunciation, the transmission of teaching, compassion, and spiritual awakening. The Victoria Memorial and the Indian Museum are among the major buildings of British design in Calcutta, but their meaning differs profoundly. The Indian Museum houses essential pieces from the ancient history of India, while the Victoria Memorial was erected in honor of Queen Victoria, Empress of India. Built in the early 20th century, this white marble monument combines imperial monumentality, classical European references, and Indo-Saracenic elements in an architectural staging of British colonial power in Bengal. The ceilings and domes of the Victoria Memorial reinforce the monumentality of the interior. Arches, circular galleries, columns, and sculpted decorations structure a high, luminous space. The central dome accentuates the sense of solemnity characteristic of this imperial monument. The British did not come to India only to live, trade, and govern. Many also died there. Opened in 1767, South Park Street Cemetery received the graves of Europeans settled in Calcutta, often carried off by disease, the climate, or the harsh conditions of colonial life. Its imposing mausoleums bear witness to a lasting British presence, but also to its fragility. At South Park Street Cemetery, tombs in the form of pyramids or obelisks are very numerous. They reflect the European taste for ancient Egypt, but also a certain idea of social rank. In Egypt, these forms were associated with royal power and with the elites close to the sovereign. Reusing them in a colonial cemetery therefore gave the deceased a monumental, almost aristocratic memory, far beyond a simple burial place. The Howrah Bridge, opened in 1943, replaced an older floating bridge that had become insufficient for the intensity of traffic between Calcutta and Howrah. For the British colonial administration, it was not simply a matter of connecting two banks of the Hooghly, but of improving access to the port of Calcutta, the railway stations, the warehouses, and the industrial zones of Howrah. The bridge facilitated the movement of goods, workers, and raw materials, especially in a region shaped by the trade in jute, coal, and imported products. Through its technical scale, it also asserted the power of imperial engineering. But above all, it revealed the economic logic of colonial rule.
organizing urban space to better serve trade, industry, and export.